Unbelievable.
I know it. But you know what? With the bird flu coming, this is what you're going to have with these vaccinations. And you're listening to Financial Survival. We're back live again. And we had a little bit of a phone technicality there. And we are back live for Monday, the 11th. And we do thank you. And you're listening to Financial Survival. I'm Melody Cedarstrom. And our telephone number is 1-800-375-4188. That is 1-800-375-4188. And Bob, why don't you go ahead and tell us about the International Forecaster, please?
Well, the forecast is about business, finance, economic, social, political issues all over the world. We publish by email on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Runs around 35, 40 pages each time. And we have a hard copy, which goes out twice a month as well for those who are not on the Internet. And if you'd like to visit our site on the Internet, that address is theinternationalforecaster.com. Theinternational, Forecaster.com. If you'd like to email us, you can do so. And that address is Bob, B-O-B, at INTFORECASTER.com. Bob at intforecaster.com.
1-800-375-4188 for your complimentary issue to the International Forecaster. And, of course, your gold and silver coins here at Discount Gold and Silver. You can earn a free subscription by purchasing your $20 gold pieces for a new subscription. And give us a call at 800-375-4188. Email us at discountgoldandsilver@yahoo.com. And visit the website, discountgoldandsilvertrading.net. And prior to the disconnect, we were talking about the Funds Protection Team, and we were talking about how to tell a good company that they're not manipulating the price. And I didn't know if you...
Well, you know, on the individual stocks, you can't do that. It's pretty hard. I can from time to time, but in the market as a whole, I can tell by the different indexes and other things that I do. And you can tell by the style and the rhythm of trading that's being done. And we've been watching them do this for over 10 years. And so we know how they do it, when they do it, and, you know, there's a whole mode of operation that they use. And quite frankly, they don't care who knows it. I mean, they are the dictators, they are the Illuminati, and if we don't like it, it's just tough. And that's going to come to an end when this economy totally collapses. And it will totally collapse, because that's what they have in mind. This did not happen by chance. It happened because they wanted it to happen, because they want world government, and it's probably the only way they can get it, short of having, you know, a world war where 75% of the people die. Incidentally, Melody.
Yes.
I'd like you to tell them what you just told me about that program.
All right. It was late last night. I couldn't sleep at 12, 1 o'clock. I decided to turn the television on, and there was the program Law and Order. And so I started watching that, and it was about a woman who decided not to vaccinate her child against measles. And she was actually charged with the murder of another child because her son contracted measles, went to a public park, and this other child had picked up the measles and had died. So they actually, and they did come out and say this was all politically motivated because it was an election year, and they charged this woman for actual murdering this other child because she didn't vaccinate her son. Now, in the arguments, they were talking about people need to vaccinate their children unless you live in a cabin, you know, out in the woods. But if you live in social environments and you live in a social and you work in the cities and so forth, it is your responsibility to have your children vaccinated. And the whole program was about making sure that the people do vaccinate their children. The cost, if you don't, you possibly be charged with murder of a child. And she was voted, she wasn't voted, but she was not guilty as charged, not because she had the right to protect her child and do what she wanted to with her child, mainly because it was just she was not responsible. Every person on the jury they had mentioned thought that she should have vaccinated her child. So it was the things that they said on there, that there are laws where people are to have their children vaccinated, but if they were under the certain age, they didn't have to. But law requires if there is a quarantine. So when you talk about this flu that we might have approaching, in the if areas are quarantined, you will be under law to take that vaccination. So it's just shocking. The program was shocking. But yet,
Propaganda.
Pardon?
It's propaganda.
It is propaganda.
Don't watch the program. In fact, a few years ago, they come out virulently for gun control.
Yes.
And I've never watched the program since, any of those series. There's 2 or 3 of them. And I just won't watch them.
The only reason I watch it is to, I know what their content, I know what they're for, and, it is interesting to see how they bring this about and how persuasive they are. And it is so, people who don't know any better, you can see how they, and I guess Nicholas wanted to know if the child that was vaccinated, if he died, and the child that died was not vaccinated because he was less than a year old, and you don't have to be vaccinated against measles. And his parents, of course, were just trash parents to begin with. So, they kind of and they did not charge the parents of that child that died for negligence either. So it's certainly a vicious attack on the parent that did not vaccinate the child. But they also...
No, I think that's a good story that just should show you what's going on out there for the people who don't know what's going on. And, and then the same people call in and or say, well, gee, does that mean me who works and has a few children that I'm going to be out of a job and starving? And it was on the Christian talk show, Crosstalk. I said, yes. They don't want to hear it. And it is going to happen. And the economy is not going to get appreciably better at any time over the next year and a half. And after that, you can kiss it goodbye. You see the money they're pouring in. All they're doing is creating inflation. I wrote a piece on it for the next issue, which will be along with that piece on the Federal Reserve, which I think that you'll get a great deal out of. And so if you're not a subscriber, get a copy.
Another question, I heard you talk about the promoting on all the major news programs, the recession is over, and Warren wants to know if Larry Kudlow is delusional or paid off, as he said the recession is over.
Well,
both.
Larry Kudlow is paid off in as much as he's got this program, and he's probably making several $1 million a year, and he can justify anything for that kind of money. The guy is nothing but a cheap shill. And if he's an economist, then I'm St. John